Cast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. Today's really going to be more of a brainstorming session, I think, than we do have some things to share, and we're excited about that. We're just getting started. We're a couple minutes before the webinar. I do want to welcome everybody that's here already, all our early birds. I love me some early birds. And welcome you, Judy, to the call. Coach Judy LaDeur. This is going to be a very interactive brainstorming session, so I want you guys to encourage you to use the chat box there on your. Actually, let's do this. Let's not use the chat. Let's use the Q&A. So there's a little question panel there on your control panel. So please feel free to use that and let us know where you're from, how you are. That's paramount right now. Is everybody safe and sound, and where you are and what you're doing to deal with our new reality, our new normal, or and of course that our new normal changes every 24-hour cycle, doesn't it, Judy?
It does. It's crazy.
So we've got just a minute. So again, if you're just joining us, there's a little question section on your control panel. Please use that. Tell us where you're from. Tell us how you are. Tell us what you hope to get out of today. And we're going to get started in just a few minutes. Judy, I want to say to you, thank you so much. You are always a bright light in our industry. So I know today you will be no exception to that. Let's get started. I welcome Judy LaDeur, our real estate recruiting coach, and all of our attendees today. If you do have a question, shoot it over in that little question section of your control panel. Judy, I'm going to let you take it away because we have a lot to cover.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Julie. And thank you for being with us today. Obviously, these are unprecedented times, okay? There is a lot of fear, a lot of unknowns right now. And so, we know that there's a lot of questions that brokers have. We're trying to keep information out in front of brokers. But what we wanted to do today is only share what other brokers are doing and what we're seeing around the country. But again, let you have an opportunity to share what you're doing and what's working for you. So I just want to start off by saying, and I've said this to a lot of you one-on-one already, I think our industry has done the most amazing job of just pivoting quickly in a situation they've never seen. When I say to people, it's been 3 weeks, every single time they go 3 weeks, oh my gosh, it seems like eternity. I can't believe it's only been 3 weeks. It has only been 3 weeks. But broker owners, managers, recruiters that I'm talking to, they say that they have never worked harder in their career than they have the last 3 weeks.
Right.
And that's, it's just like, it's just been nonstop. They wake up in the middle of the night, they make notes, they think of things they've got to do, because we've had to change everything. The way we hold open houses, or can we hold open houses? The way we secure listings, can we be face-to-face with them? The way we show properties, the way we conduct closings. And not only, is it different for, like, everything is different, it's actually different everywhere. So every county is different, the states are different, the countries are different, everything's different. But you know what? Everyone that I'm talking to, so I figure at least 50% of the brokers out there are doing a great job, and I'm so proud of all of them. Their teams are feeling connected, they're warm, they're optimistic. But for each broker I'm talking to, their managers and the brokers are talking to agents in the marketplace who are giving a completely different story. And for those of you, and I think most of you that are on this call today fall into that category, brokers that are, really connecting with your teams, doing a great job implementing those changes quickly. So this might be surprising to you, but every broker I'm talking to says that they talk to agents daily who say their brokerages are just waiting for normal to return. They're just not doing anything. Some brokers have even told agents, look, just stay home, don't sell any real estate. We're shutting the office down, even in areas where they don't have, maybe, where they don't have to be totally shut down. A lot of brokers are taking light of it. That is the worst thing you can do right now, to act like this is no big deal or that it's being blown out of proportion. It is a true pandemic, and it is a true, very serious situation in our country and around the world. And it truly has had an impact on the way things are going right now. But here's the really cool thing about it. Even though we've seen the stock market drop, I don't even look anymore. You probably don't either, but the stock market has made these extreme record-breaking drops. The economy has come to a standstill, but in light of the economy coming to a standstill, companies are still paying their people to work from home. Everyone has gotten creative on how to work from home, and more importantly, the real estate industry for the month of March. Now, again, we're going to take it month by month and week by week. For the month of March, our industry was not really that affected. In every company that I've talked to here in the US and in Canada, the March numbers this year look like March numbers last year. Agents are still selling houses, sellers are still listing. And in addition to the fact that the numbers look the same for March, there is a pipeline or a backlog of buyers and sellers who are waiting to take action in probably June or July. So I actually also see us having a very busy summer from those people right now that are hesitant to jump into that market to buy or sell a house. Maybe they don't really have to. So
we were laughing yesterday, Judy, that by the time the sequester, the quarantine is over, people are going to want to buy a new house because they're sick of the one they're in.
True. I hadn't thought about that, but there's probably another group of buyers, right? They're like, okay, I'm done with this house, and actually every house will be showable by the time it gets to June. Everyone's out like working in their yards. The hardware stores are still open. Everything that's wrong with the house is being fixed. People are painting. So really, every house in the market is getting staged at this moment. So who knows what the year will bring? But I think that's really positive, and that's the one thing that's really saving not only our industry but the brokers, is that they can say to the agents, look, we're still working, okay? We're still able to sell and help people buy homes amidst one of the worst epidemics that our country has faced. But that being said, one of the really challenging things is that the rules are different for every single area, and they do change daily. It's not as though we have our national guidelines that come from our president, but then each state can change or alter those guidelines for their state depending upon the severity within their state. But even within the state, every county can also change those guidelines. So someone was saying yesterday that Dallas has basically a stay-at-home order. Like, they can't really conduct real estate in Dallas, but they can conduct real estate everywhere around Dallas. So are they selling houses in Dallas? They actually are, but they're doing it very creatively because that's realtors. So it's hard to tell them you can't do this because they're just trying to find ways to do it. But we do have to look at stay-at-home orders, and a lot of our states right now, a lot of our counties do have stay-at-home orders. What does that mean? Now, again, it's different for every area. I've been watching different brokers in different states and counties post amazing videos educating their agents on what the stay-at-home order means in their area. And typically, what in the areas that have stay-at-home orders, if real estate is deemed essential, you can still conduct real estate, but you can only be out when you are conducting real estate related activities. And you should have a letter from the broker which states that you are a realtor and that you are conducting an activity that's real estate related. You can't be going over and picking up family for the at a restaurant maybe if you're not allowed to do that, and then just say, well, I'm a realtor. They'll say, well, it looks like you're picking up food. Like, what's that have to do with selling real estate? So stay-at-home orders again are varying a lot, but the big key is real estate essential or non-essential? We only have a couple of areas where real estate is deemed non-essential. And when it's deemed non-essential with a stay-at-home order, that means that you are pretty much shut down. If you are in an area where real estate is non-essential, okay, Dallas, I think, is one. I'm not really sure about that, but I think Dallas is one, and areas of Pennsylvania. But if you could let us know, are you in a non-essential market, meaning that you're completely shut down? We'd love to hear about that.
Yeah, John's from New York, and I know New York is non-essential. And what I do love to see is how agents and brokers are pivoting in those areas and in anticipation of potentially being in those areas, like not waiting to
Right.
get shut down. I think to see agents and brokers and boards and associations and NAR, people, everybody's responding to, now's the time to get creative, to put virtual listing. I know agents in New York that are doing, they're doing Zoom listing presentations. They're looking at, how can we use tools like DocuSign and that kind of thing. Because there are, like you said, there are people that are still need to buy and sell houses. So there's addendums, there's a lot of COVID-19 addendums that are pretty much giving, you say, okay, we're going to put this buyer with this seller, but there's an addendum so that when they can get in to see the house, or, that it kind of puts the deal together. And then once this all passes, then they can put that together. So it is interesting to see how people are getting super creative. And that does make me proud of the people in our industry. We've got
Oh,
Seattle was
absolutely.
non-essential last week, and then they changed it to essential. Lehigh Valley is shut down in Pennsylvania. I know most of Pennsylvania is shut down, I've understood.
I know.
The essential in Oklahoma City. So I think whether you've been shut down, or you're potentially looking at that in your state, some areas won't see much of it at all. But I know in other areas it is a big deal, like New York and New Jersey and Massachusetts. There's a lot of areas that are. So really getting creative, I think, is the best move for brokers right now, is to support their agents in looking at alternatives and knowing the rules. I was actually just on a call before this one with state and ed directors, state and local ed directors from all around the country. And so many of them are doing such an amazing job pushing information out to the brokers and to the agents, like even little daily mini little information facts. So here's what's today's update is. And I think that's so essential right now, because it's just it's keeping you connected. And in some ways, a lot of us are more connected. We're more connected now, than we are when we're running around, taking 2-hour lunches or whatever. People have really
Exactly.
had to find creative ways to stay connected and to communicate. So I am really proud of our industry as a whole.
Right. And well, I was thinking about that as you were talking, Jolie, and that, if we go back 30 days, which is amazing that 30 days is
Mm-hmm.
pre-COVID-19, but how much did we rely on information coming from our local board at that time, or a local association, or NAR? So we are like now connecting with all of our resources that we have, and they're all valuable resources that are there to support you. Connecting with other brokers and peers. A lot of brokers are just reaching out within their own peer groups to say, how are you doing this? And just to clarify, because there's a lot of misconception, and again, this really just comes back to a lack of communication from maybe a broker, that, in one marketplace, some agency, if they have a stay-at-home order and real estate is non-essential, they view that as, I am not allowed to conduct real estate in any manner. That is really not true. It means you can't be out showing properties, you can't be out meeting sellers, you can't be going to closings, you can't leave because you have to stay at home. But in areas where real estate is non-essential, meaning it's not an excuse to leave your house, a couple of creative things that I've heard are virtual open house weekends.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, everybody's home every day, so you can make it virtual open house Tuesday if you wanted. But to take and put all your properties on like a virtual open house for 4 hours on a Sunday for people to view what's on there.
Mm-hmm.
There are more and more offers being written without seeing the property, subject to being able to see it when they're able to do it. We're going to talk more about that on another level too. So it just means, like you said, those are the agents that have to be the most creative, and they have to think, okay, if I have a buyer that wants to buy a property and I have a seller that wants to sell, can I get it together? Well, the answer is truly yes. But I think up until 3 weeks ago, we didn't realize how we as an industry are really set up to work virtually.
Mm-hmm.
And kudos to the brokers that figured that out instantly and just didn't even skip a beat.
John brings up a good question. He talks about, and I know this is something I hear from agents every day, is that we're unable to make cold calls, and there's actually a mandate in the states that are in some of the shutdowns where you can't make cold calls, you can't call expireds, or that type of thing. And what I want to say, and what we tell agents too, is that it is a shift. It definitely is a shift in conversation, but it is a great time for agents, not and not with the typical, have you thought about selling your house conversation, but it's a great time for people to really look to their book of business that many neglect most of the year, and
That's
really
right.
reach out and talk to people, not in the, do you want to sell your house, but in a, how are you? Is there anything I can do for you? I know this is crazy, scary times right now, and I just want to let you know that I'm here for you.
Exactly. And really, if they just work their book of business, which is not cold calling, over the next 30 to 60 days, 90 days, whatever we're looking at, um, then there's more business from their sphere of influence and their book of business than there ever will be cold calling. And those numbers there's so many numbers to support that. But here's another thing. One of the things that I've been recommending to brokers is really utilize social media right now. So on Facebook, to be able to say, we've implemented safe showing policies, which allowed, 8 buyers, this week to purchase a home. If you're, we've implemented safe seller procedures, or through our virtual showing program, buyers are able to virtually, see properties and make offers without being there. So if you can just keep putting things that you're doing which adhere to the guidelines and stay safe on social media, then the people that you are connected to will also see that, and there'll be this awareness that will cause many of them to reach out to you to say, what, so how's that work? And is that something I qualify for? What would I do?
I think you have some of that on the next slide. Yes.
Yes, right, where we talk about staying connected in Facebook.
Um,
But yeah, so you use Facebook and LinkedIn as a resource of, like, for marketing purposes too. Just think in terms of who's going to be looking at that, and can that help generate business right now?
yeah, you want to switch to the next slide? There you go.
Yeah.
One of the things
So
with the LinkedIn, we talked about that. One of my favorite recruiting strategies that I think is so overlooked is taking, especially right now, taking 15 minutes or 20 minutes, a day, going into not only your prospect's LinkedIn account, but also your agent's LinkedIn, and just leaving a review, a positive, make a positive review. That one little thing could be, the highlight of an agent's day right now. Um,
absolutely.
April asks, how
Absolutely.
are calls to agents being viewed as a recruiter? Any feedback? I've been engaging via email, text, and video text message, but I haven't been calling. Should we be calling?
Perfect. That'll be on, I think, our next screen. So we're going to hold off on that question. Any other questions? And then I'll jump into what leaders are doing right now to keep their team informed and
Nope, go
connected.
ahead.
Perfect. One of the most important things that everyone should be doing, managers, brokers, is consistent FaceTime with the entire team via video. Now, this is different than a Zoom call. So this means that you are literally taking your phone or your computer and saying, hey guys, this is Judy. Just wanted to give you an update today. Let you know, again, I'm here for whatever challenges you're experiencing. There were some new guidelines that came down the pipeline yesterday, or one of our agents did something that was really creative, and we wanted to share this with the whole team. Whatever it is, they need to see your face right now. And they need to just as though they were sitting there talking to you, the more FaceTime that they see. So this is at least every week. I recommend that brokers are doing FaceTime with their team 2 to 3 times a week, with either updates or kudos or whatever. But send out just those FaceTime messages via video to your whole team. Now, everything that we're doing obviously is online and via video, and so we're going to give you 5 ideas here. Then again, right now, if you're doing something that's working really well, definitely reach out there and let us know. We'd love to share it with the team. Everybody should right now be doing online networking or sales meetings with their agents. So some of you weren't really conducting meetings with your agents before, or maybe it was a once a month business meeting. You can't let it go for a full month right now. Every week, there should be a sales meeting of sorts where you're sharing statistics. I think right now the most important statistic to share with agents is if your March numbers, as basically almost every one we've looked at, your March numbers this year are the same as they were last year, meaning that your market really wasn't affected that much by what's going on, then you should share those numbers, even if it's slightly off. But keeping agents aware of the fact that just because the economy is facing, all of the challenges that it's facing, we as an industry are not basically facing as many of those challenges. I mean, we have to be creative, but people are still buying and selling homes, and that's really good for them to know. Obviously, right now, a lot of companies should ramp up their online training with teaching agents how to conduct business these days, making sure that they know how to shoot the videos properly, or they're utilizing services to get the videos shot, properly walking through a home to show a client a preview via video, how to train sellers to sterilize the house and get it ready for a showing, or for you to preview it by opening closet doors, having lights on, things of that nature. Some agents are doing that on their own, but a lot are just basically training their sellers to have everything done before they leave. So whatever it is, the training now isn't just our real estate training that we've done in the past, but consistent training on, let's talk about how to do this safely, and let's talk about how to implement this safely. Zoom happy hour gatherings, those are going over huge.
We've been doing them as a family, actually. We've been having virtual cocktail parties.
Yeah, we should actually put that on there, gatherings for the office and for the families, because we are in a society that loves, we're used to connecting with people, and we're an industry that is, for the most part, made up of a lot of emotional agents, and they need that connection. So keeping them bottled up inside the house and having no connection with the rest of the team is just, it's making them crazy.
Well,
so yeah,
the term social distancing is it's really rough, right? Because we're social creatures. Most salespeople are social creatures. So really kind of making that differential between physical distancing rather than social distancing. In this time,
exactly.
We really do have to kind of overcompensate socially, virtually, but overcompensate in terms of communication and just those little things. It means so much. I mean, making sure that you are using there's all kinds of different technology. CallFire is a great tool to use, which allows you to send text messages or voice messages out to a massive group. So it's a really cool technology as well.
Voice fire, CallFire.
Yep. So that's a really cool tool.
But yeah, just they need to see your face, and they connect with other people. Now, does everyone kind of come to the Zoom happy hour? No. Because quite honestly, there's agents right now thinking, man, I love this. This is their world. They're just like, wow, look at that,
I know brokers that are hosting like office hours, like twice a week. They're, I'm going to be on a Zoom call at 10 o'clock. Anybody that wants to jump on and, and just chat or tell, let's problem solve or, share ideas. So I think that's brilliant to do that twice a week or 3 times a week, like Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, like an office hour kind of thing. Where
instead of happy hour, you have happy hour maybe one day. At the end of the week, maybe you have coffee hour another day at 9:30, and everybody grabs their coffee and they just again do more of the networking session, but call it our coffee hour gathering. And also, I think every broker has figured out by now that there's new tools and different systems that allow this safe showing of homes. But this is a great networking project to do online with your agents, where you say, okay, here's a checklist of things that we've put together for the seller, or a checklist for buyers. Here are all the things we're looking at right now. What are we missing out on? So if you just get all the minds collectively together and they look at everything that's out there, then you're going to be not only engaged with your agents, but it just shows them that you are being very transparent with them right now. Called, hey, listen, we're all doing this. This is the first time for all of us. So if you know of something that we're not aware of that you think would help everyone, I definitely want to know about it. Now, if you just take a look at those 5 things right there, that means that really, if you're only doing one video to your team per week, even though I think you should do at least a couple, and 1 online sales meeting a week, and 1 online training per week, and a Zoom happy hour per week, and maybe a coffee hour to talk about new systems and tools. I mean, that means that you are face-to-face with your team at least 5 times a week. It's easy because, again, it's a limited amount of time, and you're just chatting, but that would be what I consider ideal, that every day there's something going on that agents can connect to. They won't all connect to all the things, but they can jump onto what they want. So you put together your calendar that and I would only keep the calendar, weekly, like a weekly calendar, not a monthly calendar, because
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean, you could
things
do a
are
monthly
changing.
calendar, it's going to change. But yeah, right. There might be emergency meetings that have to be connected, things of that nature.
Yeah,
But let the team know that, you're just all over this and on top of it, because that's what they need to feel confident. There are some, easy things that you can create and implement. And I put the easiest of all, which was set up a Zoom account for meetings and networking. I kind of assumed that everybody was using Zoom by now. The schools are using it. I mean, everyone's using Zoom. I saw brokers asking me, like, I don't really know how to do Zoom. Like, I'm not really set up for Zoom. I have not gone on Zoom. Well, if you know how to use Zoom, it's really easy. It's zoom.us. You can have a free account. There's also pro accounts, but just there's something for you to do today is you need to master some things like this that allow you to gather the group together easily. And Zoom is really easy for agents.
it is.
It gives you the chance to also do a share screen. And so you can put together maybe, let's say, some market statistics, or maybe you guys are working on a list of guidelines for buyers and sellers. You want to put that list up there for people to look at and see if it should be tweaked or changed. It'll let you do all of that. So I decided to put that on there just because I've had so many people telling me lately that they're just still not doing that because they don't know how.
Judy, April gives a great suggestion. She said they're doing an agent series class. So an agent who has an expertise in a certain field will talk about what they know. So
Oh,
I
I
think
love
that's
that.
a great
Agent Series
idea.
Plus.
So they're gonna schedule it, and they go live on their Facebook page as well. So I think that's a great idea. Good job, April.
Hey, and April, I love that you're on the call today because, as I mentioned, April will share some great information on her Facebook page for everyone, and I'm going to share just a little piece of that with you, which was something I hadn't even thought of. So, hi, April, shout out to you. um, the world, it's funny. I spoke at several conventions earlier this year. One of my topics the last week of February was how to prepare for the next big crash, which was kind of funny because
Oh, so
the
that's
next
your
people
fault.
were
Okay,
like,
I
"How
got
did you know?" Well, I didn't know, but there's always going to be something that's going to slow down our market or impact our market. Like in the past, most of the time it affects our housing market. The good news about this one is it's not affecting it that much. But what I said to everybody this year, and I've been saying for the past year, is our industry is moving to basically a video-based industry. You have to know how to shoot video. You have to be able to deliver video content to your clients. You have to be able to deliver a video brochure to a seller to check your company out in advance. You can get video business cards right now. You can even get a box that's got video in it, like a wine box where you can put a bottle of wine in it and open up the lid, and the video is talking about you and your company.
Oh, that's
Um,
hysterical.
yeah, there's just every video is really, it's something like it tripled, the use of video tripled in 2019. And they expect it. Well, of course, who knows now with industries, but video, maybe it'll even go up faster now. But video is the way that we are conducting our business right now, and I don't think that's going to change. I think that's going to be a permanent change. One of my broker friends, Stuart, showed me that he was using Matterport video with 360-degree tours, video tours for their buyers and sellers. And gosh, like you can just walk through the house with that Matterport video. You can measure a cabinet. You can see how much space you've got for furniture. To me, as I was walking through the property with Matterport video, I thought, gosh, like honestly, as a buyer, I'd just as soon do that versus go through all the houses because I could look at 20 homes that way without ever leaving my house and then go out and physically see the two that I like. Some people have said they're just getting their own camera that shoots 360 degrees and they're finding someone to shoot the videos. But however you do it, I think that this is a tool that if you haven't invested in something that's going to be a high quality video shoot of these properties, that's something that you definitely need to take a look at. There's a lot of them out there probably. I just mentioned, Matterport video. You can check it out online.
You know what?
But
I think this is a perfect time to invite our friend Michael Creasa back for our next webinar because he does have
yeah,
that product that's so cool for agents and for recruiters, and it's got a lot of neat functionality. It's the Quick Page RE. So I'll reach out
Yes,
to him and maybe have him do we'll do a walkthrough of that system too, and then brokers can share that with their agents. And I know
exactly.
they're doing some
Right.
special
Keep
offers
it
for agents right
specific to
now.
how,
Yeah,
how are we using video to buy and sell properties right now?
exactly.
Yeah, he's awesome,
I'll reach
Mr.
out to him.
Video. Um, Julie taught, or one of the things that we're hearing from a lot of brokers is that they are creating a buyer and seller list of safe guidelines to follow. Now, a lot of our brokers are asking me, they're calling me up saying, do you know of anyone that's already got the list put together that we can share? I don't know. Everyone that I have is currently working on that. If you do have something put together that you'd like to share with Julie and I, we can either one, just share it with brokers per request, or we can put it on our site under tools and give you full credit for it on here are the guidelines that we're using. But buyer and seller guidelines, just really simple stuff to, with, what you have to do to view homes safely, what you have to do to have them open for viewing, obviously safely. And the smallest of details should be on there.
Yep.
Wiping things down beforehand, wiping things down afterwards, uh, opening closet doors, opening every door of every cabinet in a property, maybe before they look at it, having lights already on, having closet doors already on.
Well, in areas where you're still able to show, one of the things that people are doing is they're not entering the house except for one by one, that they're staying in their cars and the next person comes in, that kind of thing. So there are things to do there. I mean,
a lot of companies are, providing, you've got the masks that are being made. So you have companies that are buying masks that they can give to a buyer that's going out with them if they feel more comfortable having a mask on. The booties that we sometimes just have in houses when people don't want you on their carpet actually are more important now. Either taking your shoes off as soon as you're at the door or wearing something throughout the house so you're not contaminating the house just by walking through it. So, this is again one of those things like a number 5 above. If you just said to every agent that you've got, let's put together this list and let's get really detailed, and then ask buyers to agree to adhere to these guidelines before we show them a property. And let's let sellers know that if they adhere to these guidelines, that their home will be shown as a certified safe to show property. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that here in a minute. So any questions right now from our team or any comments on
no, not yet. I'll add a little bit in though, because we've been working, I work with Daryl. We've been talking to agents every day too. And we do have a lot of agents that are in lockdown states, and, really getting creative about creating partnerships with your seller, so that the seller is taking the pictures and, doing those kind of things, and then sharing all of that in a Google Drive or a Dropbox, and the agent is then putting it together to create those virtual tours and that kind of thing. So there are some creative ways for our friends that are in states that are in lockdown or stay at home and that kind of thing. So there's so many creative ways. I mean, I have to say, we are so resilient by nature, and it will be the brokers that present those the calm in the storm kind of demeanor,
right,
that the agents will appreciate and recognize and know for a long time. I kind of make I think it's a little like a parent, right? So if you're the more nervous you are, the more nervous your baby is, right? So it's kind of the same with brokers. The more calm and cool and the quicker that you are to adopt ideas and strategies and do the research and put things together for your agents, that's really what they need. You said it and I think in the first slide, there is no more important time for leadership than there is right now.
Exactly. I used an example this week with someone, because I love sailing. And if anybody here, likes to go sailing or even, deep sea fishing, somewhere where you're way out in the middle of the ocean and you're kind of isolated. So, you're vulnerable to weather or things that can happen. And if a storm comes up on you really quickly and you're not the person in charge of the boat, you're not the captain, you're the passenger. I don't know about you, but every time I've been in a perilous situation on a boat, and there've been a lot of them, I instantly look to the captain and I look to see what their face looks like. If they look like they've got it under control and they don't look worried, then I think, okay, they've been through this kind of a storm before. They're feeling really confident about this boat. I can relax and I don't have to really worry about anything. But on occasion, I looked at the captain's face and they were terrified.
It's
So as
not
soon
as
as I
though
see
they
that
just
they're
let him
terrified, I'm like, oh
calm.
my God, like this is new for them. Like they don't know what they're doing and they're scared. So then I'm afraid. And I remember that feeling, on a couple of occasions. And I think that's kind of like what it's like right now for agents when their broker is confident and but being honest, hey, look, we're in new waters. We're trying this, we're open to ideas. We've got this, let's do this. They're like, okay, they're navigating through this storm and they got it. But
It's a great
if they look, someone get a story for a recruit told a broker in their marketplace that their broker literally said something to the effect of, look, I gotta sell houses and I gotta keep my bills paid and I gotta keep things afloat for me too. So,
on your own.
just yeah, do your best. So I was like, seriously, do your best.
Oh my goodness.
But but you know what? Who knows? Maybe they were just again truly fearful and just couldn't break out of that zone. So yeah, like they are watching you, and it's kind of like what's that picture of the duck that sometimes you see where it's on the surface of the water, the duck looks really cool and calm, and then underneath
Paddling
its
like
feet are
hell
going like
underneath.
crazy, paddling like crazy. Okay, that's you guys right now. Cool and calm on the surface, underneath you're just paddling like crazy to stay afloat. So, is it okay to recruit during this time? We had that question earlier. Let's talk about that. That is the number one question that I'm getting these days. Julia, you probably get a lot of brokers reaching out to you with the same question. And the answer is actually yes, but there's a difference. Okay, we mentioned this earlier.
Tempered conversation.
It's not. Pardon?
Tempered conversation.
Yes, right. Yeah, this isn't the time to call up and go, hi, listen, so, sure, your production in the marketplace is really impressive, and, we're calling to see if you'd like to talk to us, because the response that you're going to get is, seriously? Like, do you know what's going on in the world right now? The elephant in the room is the COVID-19 coronavirus, whatever we're referring to it, the pandemic. It's the elephant in the room. You just have to talk about it. If you try not to pretend it's going on, people are going to wonder what's going on with you. So calls should be more to just check on agents. Hey, listen, you know what? I'm just, I've obviously got some free time. You can laugh about it.
Yeah.
It's been 3 weeks. I'm running out of things to do. My house is clean. My closet's organized. And so I thought maybe I'll just reach out to some of the agents that, we've worked with in the past just to see how it's going. Like, are you and your family safe? Are you well? Is there anything that you need? Anything that we can do to support you? And is your business still moving along okay? Just make it a series of questions to see how things are going. What you're going to find, and this is what brokers are saying, is you'll instantly know if they're not happy with what their brokerages are doing. And it's okay to say, I'd love to set up an interview with you via Zoom, so from the comfort of your own home, and just talk to you a little bit about what we're doing if you're interested to see how we're supporting your agents right now. But some agents will just they'll be happy for the call. They won't indicate they're unhappy at all. And if they don't, then I would just close that conversation down by saying, well, listen, we're doing a lot of creative things over here too. So if you get stuck or you need some feedback on anything, feel free to reach out to myself or any member of our team. We're happy to share what we're doing. And so everyone each call doesn't end with a, can we get together? Look for the people that are feeling unsupported right now.
Absolutely. And even offer, we're getting together. We've got an office hours where we're just sharing some ideas. You're welcome to join if that's something you'd be interested in. We're all in this. I really taking that we're all in this together kind of approach, to these calls, I think is important. Mike asks if we have an email script for recruiting during this time. We don't currently, but I think we could put something together that's along the lines of what we just said. Yes.
Yeah, we can do that today and get that posted. I've been giving individual people that I'm coaching scripts, and again, it's basically a series of questions. But I'm happy to put that together, Julie, and give it to you to put on our site.
Yeah, we are going to be posting
under like broker support tools.
We do have some questions. We are going to be posting this on the blog. We don't post all of our webinars on the blog. Most of them are housed on our membership portal, on our membership platform, The Profitable Recruiter. But we are going to be putting this on the blog for everybody to look at as well. So, but we will push that email script out to you guys, Mike.
Great. I don't know. Let's see. I was seeing about something else. Oh, I don't know if Brian is on today's call. He had 2 Zoom interviews set up this morning. Brian, if you are on the call, if you got through with your second interview, I'd love for you to log in and let us know how it went. But using Zoom for your interviews is just like being face-to-face with an agent. Some of you are actually going to be more comfortable asking someone to meet with you online on a Zoom meeting, because and for a lot of potential recruits, it's going to be more comfortable. The driver agents like Zoom because they don't have to drive anywhere. It saves time. It's faster and a little bit more direct. And for some of our agents that really are uncomfortable. I mean, think about how many times an agent says to you, "I love my broker. I'm happy. I would hate for them to think I'm talking to anybody else. They're just afraid of being seen in your office." Well, Zoom meetings are the solution to, I don't want to be seen meeting with you in person, or I don't want to be seen coming into your office.
Oh my goodness, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, so a lot of agents are actually going to be far more comfortable with a Zoom meeting, and everybody's got more time right now. So if you have more time, you got time to check out the competition, to be a little curious. Now, for a Zoom interview, you do have to create PowerPoint slides to use when you're going to be showing your visuals. But otherwise, you pretty much follow the same format that we've taught everybody that's on our call here today. You would start the call face-to-face when you're setting it up. Thanks so much for setting aside a little bit of time today to learn a bit about who we are. It's a great time to look at your options or to see what other companies are doing, to support their agents during this time. And what I'd like to just start off by doing is asking you questions, about what it is that you're encountering right now. What are the challenges that you're facing? What, if anything, do you need in the way of tools or support? And then, show you what we're doing. So then you are going to continue just face-to-face asking your questions. Now, the questions are going to be a little bit different too. So if you're taking notes, here's what I suggest. And Julie, we can kind of put these together and put this as one of the tools on our Proper Recruiter site too, because it's probably a good tool to have there right now. Questions asked during this period of time. There's going to be, I think the first maybe 5 questions have to talk about the coronavirus situation, how they're handling it, how it's affecting their business, the support that they're receiving, the tools that they're receiving. Do they feel confident to still list and sell real estate right now? If not, why not? So first 5 questions just specifically dealing with how they're doing business in the marketplace. Your next phase of questions, which will be, maybe another 5 questions, are going to deal with pre-coronavirus. So, and use start your sentence like this because it really gets their attention. Like it makes them laugh. Say, so let's go back 30 days ago when we didn't even know the term coronavirus existed, because again, it's just that awareness of, and of course, next week it'll be, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever it is going forward. But, pre-COVID-19, what were the challenges that you had with your business? What were some of the areas of support that you felt that you needed and why? So just ask a few questions about how they were feeling about their business prior to the changes that they're seeing now. And then just kind of end it with a few questions that are more of a, in looking at 2020 in general, how would you like to see the year end? Okay, if you're December 31st and you're looking back and you're saying, wow, you know what? Here are the things that I was able to do in 2020. Here's where my business finished. What does that look like? And as you're looking forward over the next 2 or 3 years, 3 years from now, where would you like to see your business then and what needs to take place? So if you're just basically taking in like 3 categories of questions, it starts off first more with the coronavirus question, some of the pre-coronavirus, what was going on, and then it ends with, what would you like to see in the way of a proposal? If you were to switch firms, what would you need in the way of a support?
I like it.
Once you've got that information, then it's time to present solutions. Now, the only challenge with having a PowerPoint slide is, you kind of have to go through all the slides. So what I'm suggesting is that you think about what most agents are going to want right now. Statistics to show that the market isn't really that affected and they should still be listing and selling as they have previously. For some agents, that's going to be really surprising. Maybe statistics on your company, some of the just a couple on your company, but then all the training that you're doing, the online training, the online networking sessions, the happy hour sessions, everything that deals with what you're doing now. And so you're going to show your screen, you're going to share it, talk about those things. And then for the ROI, it's a little different right now too. I don't think that you should be going through all your systems and looking for how many opportunities there are for every system. I think you just simply say, if you had the level of support that we're offering our team right now, okay, how would your business be different? Or, if you're looking at your business for the past 30 days, do you feel as though you've lost any listings or sales? If so, how many? And how many months do you think this is going to last? So let them tell you what's 3 or 4 or 6, whatever it is. If they say 4, say, so over the next 4 months, if you stayed at your current firm, how many listings or sales per month do you think you might lose because you don't have the right tools or the right level of support in this market? If they just say it's 1, then 1 transaction over 4 months, depending on your average sales price, let's say it's $7,500, there's $30,000 in income they lose just during the COVID-19 time frame.
Mm-hmm.
And so a great trial close is to say is, look, at a time where there's a lot of uncertainty out there right now, with $30,000 additional dollars help in 2020? And the answer should be yes. So then you can bring your compensation back up on the board, talk about that, and end it with a face-to-face show. I'd love to have you join our team. Love to help you navigate through what's going on here in the marketplace and give you the support that you're looking for. So I think that if you just practice a few times and get used to it, it's going to be really comfortable for you.
Mm-hmm. I love that forward thinking, having people look to what the end of the year is going to look like.
Right, because you know what? It's going to look worse. Again, our answers now are way different than they were 30 days ago from recruits.
John is so funny. He said, last month when we talked, my only problem was handling S personality types. Now I'm not worried about social shaming.
That's right, yeah. Yeah. Isn't it funny how, in just the past month, all of our issues and all of our challenges have changed.
But I love it. April said that she's having more contacts turn her down because they don't want to come out or can't come out. But once she says we can do it via Zoom, they're receptive. They're giving her dates and times. So I think that's awesome.
Right. Yeah, I think all of you are going to find that, I think a lot of recruiters and brokers are just going to stick with Zoom interviews even after this is over, because it's easy. It's the expressive agent will meet with you and they love to meet with you. But maybe your analytical agent, your amiable agent, your driver agent, 3 of our 4 personalities would just as soon do it online.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like you remove the risk of, I don't want anybody to see me going into your office. I love that.
Right. And that's one of the broker's number 1 challenges, that the agents don't want to be seen. So is it okay to recruit during this time? Yes, because there are agents who are feeling lost and unsupported right now, and they are looking for solutions. And so if you're doing a great job of supporting and offering those solutions, then yes, you really have an obligation to let other agents in the marketplace know what you're doing.
Exactly. Well, and I love that. Like you said, the one broker that said, okay, you're on your own, basically. Good luck to you. There are going to be companies like that, and those agents are going to be looking for a different place to hang their hat.
Yeah. You mentioned this earlier, Julie, so I'll just say it again. We've got the 20-10-5-1 rule to use on Facebook. And I'm always asking brokers, are you staying consistent with your Facebook interaction on a daily basis? And the answer I get is, oh, geez, I'm forgetting, I'm too busy. Have you set up your list on Facebook? Oh, geez, I didn't get around to that yet. Are you going into LinkedIn and giving testimonials for your agents and other agents in the marketplace? Oh, yes. Haven't had time to do that. Everything you haven't had time to do, this is the time to do it.
The time to do it.
We're going to be really busy after this time because everybody's going to be playing catch up later. So definitely get consistent with staying engaged with people on social media and giving those testimonials on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm. Mike asked, you can do Zoom interviews, but then getting them to sign and do paperwork and get training is challenging.
Well, again, we can do everything digitally these days. Like I said, documents can be signed digitally onboarding processes, you just have to get creative. So if you haven't figured out how to get someone onboarded digitally, a lot of our brokers have figured that out. The training can be done digitally. We have one-on-one coaching being done via Zoom. You can put 2 or 3 agents together that are getting started. You know, the thing that's happening right now across most of the country is hiring new agents has come to a halt, or it's soon coming to a halt, because we have schools that are shut down. In some areas, we have government agencies that are no longer doing testing. So a lot of that has dried up, or a lot of it is on hold until government agencies open up again. And so again, different from state to state and from country to country, but that's going to be a backlog of things that we'll have to do when we're all back up and going again. And I think being able to onboard agents digitally, put them together in groups on Zoom, help them know what to do, give them direction on a daily basis, 20 minutes each day on direction of things that you can be doing. You're going to really love being able to utilize technology to save time in some of those areas when that pipeline starts coming back in.
Judy, on that note, with the trainings, back to Mike's question a little bit, one of the things that I'm hearing from some of these ed directors and from other brokers is that instead of doing like a 3-hour class, they're opting to do like 20-minute short Zoom sessions, so agents can jump on if they want, so offering more mini sessions rather than longer sessions in terms of training. So maybe you take whatever you're doing training wise in your company and you chunk it up a little bit, because people are at home, they got kids at home, they got a spouse that, like, you're in my space and I got to make a call, and the dog's barking, and people are dealing with a little bit different. So I thought that was a really creative way of managing that. So instead of something that's 2 hours or 3 hours long, go for those 20-minute, 45 minutes, that kind of thing. So a little bit shorter, I think.
I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. I think right now, just give them something short, but more often, and just, again, keep them focused, keep them going in the right direction.
Yep.
We've been looking at ways we can get creative. Here's a creative idea. Put together a list of strong listing agents in your area. And again, if you put together safe guidelines for safe to show houses, and safe to show guidelines for showing properties, you can reach out to other agents in the marketplace and say, hey, we'd love to bring you onto a Zoom meeting, show you what we're doing to create safe environments for showings and listings. And we want to put together a list of safe co-broke agents to work with. We just have to confirm that you would follow those safe guidelines. And I think any agent right now who's got a group of agents reaching out to them saying, we'd like to put you on a list of agents where if we see your listing, we know it's safe to show, and that you're going to be following the same guidelines, that they would just jump all over that. But I love it because it can keep you connected to the best agents in your marketplace.
I love it.
Co-broke happy hours. I see brokers already starting to do this. They just discuss listings, shared funny stories, because there's always something to chuckle about in this industry. I mean, there are funny stories that I hear every day. So, just keeping the humor in all of this, but saying to everybody that you're co-broking with right now, join us for happy hour. It's our co-broke happy hour. Virtual open house weekends, where again, all your properties are virtually being able to be viewed, but you don't have to go out there. They can sign up to log into your virtual open houses. I think a lot of people that are sitting homes would love to do that. They watch all those home shows anyways, And you just implementing a safe to show program by, you could put writers even on your listings. You could have message on your listing in the MLS, just suddenly setting them apart from others that say, we're following the guidelines and it's safe to show. That's really important to a lot of people right now. Brokers that are not adhering to guidelines are under a lot of criticism.
I love April's idea earlier. We're spotlighting agents that are on your team that have an expertise in a specific area, and
exactly
do a Facebook Live or Zoom call. I think that's really smart.
I love it. April's always got great ideas. Speaking of April, she shared this she shared something on her Facebook page today, and I happened to click on one of the links, and it really, it's talking about you know, how quickly the economy is predicted to come back and different things that are really positive. But I looked at these stats which were on there, and I just kind of labeled it, could China help boost real estate sales in the US in 2020? If we go back, especially even back to 2006, 7, 8, China was responsible for purchasing a lot of real estate when our market actually did collapse. And I was talking to some Canadian brokers last week that said they already have buyers that are buying homes sight unseen, subject to seeing the inside of the house. And I thought about this when I was reading this article because, of course, as we all know, China's income is actually starting to rebound. They have February 12th, I think, they had basically since February 12th, it peaked in February 12th, and right now they're reporting almost no deaths at all. It's like they were the first in, they'll be the first out. Like a lot of other international now Chinese buyers, like any international buyer, actually have always been purchasing properties via virtual tours.
There's so much to learn from our international agents about working virtually and closing deals virtually, and our investor agents as well. People are used to dealing with investors. You know, they buy houses sight unseen all the time.
Right, exactly. So the investor, like I said, they don't have that personal emotional connections. We've got some people have been used to doing it. I think our buyers are going to get a little bit more used to it. But I thought it was interesting. Chinese buyers, which rely on virtual tours, obviously, even in their own country right now, in February, there were 350,000 virtual tours per day.
Wow.
Which is 35 times the amount in January. So, of course, they were closed down, according to China. And so it shows that even in China, they're just chomping at the bit here to get back into that market. You've got the Chinese builder Modern Land recently live streamed the sales perspective to buyers that generated 600 contracts in 5 locations in one day. Wow. And yeah, Chinese buyers represent 11% of international real estate investment in the U.S. They do purchase the highest dollar amount of any other international buyer at $13.4 billion in real estate last year. So, you know, as I thought about that, I thought, you know, China, which is basically the first to come out of all this, and they are going to be more comfortable in starting to purchase, they could be, you know, a big purchaser for 2020 real estate as well, based on what we're seeing in China.
Wow.
So thanks, April. I just thought it was kind of interesting. It was a pretty long article with a lot of interesting things, and I just thought I'd throw that up there because I thought, well, you know, we all look for positive things.
Sure, I love
it. To share with our team or whatever. And here's a great, you know, just a really great positive thing. But also a lot of our agents out there have a lot of connections and a lot of investors. So investors or our Chinese buyers or any international buyer. But right now, China is like the first out. So they might be the first into the real estate market. So any questions before we finish up with the last 2 things we want to talk about, Julie?
I don't think so, not right now.
Great. So we know that many of you on the call today are members of the Profitable Recruiter, and we want to thank you for being members. We do have some guests today that are not yet members, and we definitely want to offer you 50% off discounts for our weekly newsletters. Our weekly newsletters are always inspirational and motivational. It's designed to make them feel good. We're going to show you some of them. We did change up our last newsletter for March to reflect more of what was happening in the marketplace. We do write newsletters in advance. So unfortunately, when we wrote February's newsletters, we were in January. So of course, they were all very positive and not reflecting of what was going on. So we rewrote that last week. April's newsletters that we just wrote are definitely reflective of everything that's going on in the marketplace right now. They're all written as though we're not going to be out of quarantine till the end of April, but let's just say if April 18th, everything got lifted and everything changed, we would definitely rewrite the last 2 newsletters of April too. But we try to always, you know, write something that's positive for agents, and it's designed to just kind of keep you connected. There are a lot of components to the Profitable Recruiter, not just our emails that go out every week, but there's webinars on demand that Julie was just talking about. All of our webinars are on that site. Our archives have a lot of things we've done in the past. We've got audio downloads. We've got tools, resources for recruiters. The questions, different things that have been requested today, we'll put in our resource link. And you can just, you know, basically come down here and click on any one of these. Something that's new is We've got our crisis resource page down here.
Mm-hmm.
We've also got Daryl Davis weekly webinars, which we've just added, virtual agent workshop.
For the agent.
So there's a lot of things that we've added here that let you as a broker support your agents during this time. And so if you haven't been on that site for a while, sometimes our own members are like, wait, when did we get that? So
The
go ahead and take a look at it.
downloads are, oh, and the other thing I didn't, if you could go back one slide, one of the things that we started in January, just for anybody that had signed up in December, was to offer the profitable sales agent newsletters for 3 months. So we offered those January through March as a promotion for anybody that had signed up or renewed in December. So we are extending that for the next 3 months. So you've got agent newsletters as well that you can share with your team that they can customize and make their own. And, you know, it's just a little added thing that you can share with them if they want to use it.
That's great. So yeah, so these are all, a lot of these things are brand new things. So go ahead and look on the site. This is a sample of one of our newsletters. As you can see, it's only like about, you know, a couple of paragraphs, which is our motivational message. Then there's always a weekly activity to implement what you hear, as well as some quotes that tie into that. So this just gives you an idea of what that message looks like when it goes out to the agents. This is the agent e-newsletter. The big difference here is it is written specifically for sellers and buyers, and there's always a real estate tip of the week that you see right there in the middle. But again, it's something positive, something fun, and a lot of times it deals more with you know, the residential real estate.
You know, we get our profitable recruiter brokers call and email us all the time that when they send out the Monday morning messages, they say, you know, wow, I just had an agent call me that said that's exactly what I needed to hear, and that kind of thing. So they're not pushy, they're not salesy, they're definitely a way to keep you connected and top of mind with your.
Exactly. They were designed to just stay on top of things. And, you know, we have done some statistics on that. And of the brokers that have reported into us, they'll say that they recruit an average of 6 agents a year just by being positioned in front of the agents at all times, where agents just say, I love getting the newsletter, I'd like to talk to you. And the same really applies to the agents. If the agents keep something in front of their sellers at all times, their whole client database, and stay top of mind and connected with something that they enjoy receiving, the average agent should pick up about 6 transactions a year just by being connected to their entire database. So they are designed to, in a soft way, keep you connected, keep top of mind awareness, which results in additional recruits as well as additional listings. So we do have one more new thing for you, though.
Yes.
And one of the things that we're all doing with a lot of extra time is we're getting organized and putting all the contacts into, we're telling everyone, get your contacts set up in a CRM or get them organized into groups if you have a CRM. But if you don't have a CRM or you're not happy, you know, with your CRM, this is a great time to try something new. Now, again, a lot of people say, well, I'm just using, what's that sheet that they
Like
sometimes,
Excel. Yep.
Excel, thank you. I was like, it's a green thing on my computer at the bottom. Excel spreadsheet. A lot of people say, well, I've got Excel spreadsheets. That is not a CRM. A CRM is designed to, you know, generate information to the entire group, kind of nurture those leads. Again, stay in touch with various groups with information that's current, relevant. You can, pardon?
Oh, I was just going to, this is, you know, we've been asked by brokers for a long time to recommend a CRM, and we actually reached out.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that in a minute here.
Yes, to create a partnership with them, and their support is amazing. They're just, I mean, it's really cool people, and they do a beautiful job. So we're thinking about it. What we did was we reached out and asked them what they could do for our profitable recruiter members, and so they agreed, which was very kind of them. They normally have a 35-day trial period, but for our profitable recruiter members, you will get 60 days extended trial, so you can try it, kick the tires for 60 days. So I'm excited about that, and I'm excited. We've actually put our Monday morning emails in the system. So those are already loaded in there. We'll be adding more content in there as well, but it's a great way to really utilize both the tools that you have as a profitable recruiter and try a new CRM, it's a great time to do that. So
great. And as you can see here, pardon?
I say we do hope you'll join us. If you're interested and you have any questions, you can certainly reach out to us. You can go to theprofitablerecruiter.com and check us out. We are going to be putting a copy of this webinar, a replay of this, on the blog for our Profitable Recruiter site. So you can go there, and we'll be putting a copy of that recruiting script. And Judy is going to we're going to work together, putting a little PowerPoint sample together, and we'll have that in the resource section for recruiters as well in the Profitable Recruiter membership platform.
Exactly. So as you can see here, for anybody that wants to check out iExec's CRM, they are going to do a concierge setup service free of charge to help you get everything uploaded, get everything set up, get your email headers set up, your signature. And you know what? It is the number one question that we get asked. Do we have a good CRM, something that works well with recruiting? And we've checked them out. And so we are endorsing them as one of our partners, and check them out.
Thank you, everybody, today for being with us. We hope you got some information out of that. We are going to be reaching out to Michael Creasa about some recording and video skills and tools for you. We're going to come back together for another brainstorming session as well. So let's stay connected, let's stay close, and everybody stay safe. Judy, thank you so much. We appreciate
You're welcome.
your insights today. We love you guys. We hope everybody is well and your team is well. And if there's anything we can do for you, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Goodbye.